Watch what fish does to your old cat's body.
A lot of people that have cats are unknowingly doing something that is shortening their pet's life. I've been a veterinarian for more than 50 years, and I've treated thousands of cats.
Once you started working on Mr. Toodles, he improved dramatically, and I think you gave him probably an extra couple of years.
Yeah. Squeaky is 22 years old. She's been on my program since a kitten. She has literally not been sick in her life. There's one simple thing you could do. You could apply these for your pet right at home without having to have me there or travel to see me.
After following Dr. Marty's advice and techniques, she became a new cat.
Our cats are a part of our family. When, as a practicing veterinarian, I lost my own cat Zots to a bladder blockage when he was just 9 years old, I swore to dedicate the rest of my life to helping as many cats as possible not just live longer, but healthier. What I'm going to share with you next allowed my other cat, the Geeter, to live to the age of 24, and my next cat, Squeaky, to live to the age of 23. And in my professional opinion, as a practicing veterinarian for over 5 decades, I know it'll help your cat too. Hi, my name is Dr. Marty Goldstein. I graduated from the Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine back in 1973, and I'm now a veterinarian with more than 50 years of experience. Today, I'm going to expose 3 dangerous ingredients added to many cat foods, even foods that claim to be healthy, organic, and natural, that in my professional opinion, as a practicing veterinarian for over 50 years, could give your cat kidney problems, obesity, bad digestion, or even bladder stones. I call these 3 ingredients cat health destroyers. They are found in both cheap and expensive foods, and when you hear them, you will be shocked. In fact, they might be in your cat's food right now. Before I reveal the 3 ingredients, think about your cat and ask yourself these critical questions. Have you noticed your cat is getting heavier, or having tartar and dental problems, dry flaky fur or greasy fur, or ear infections or yeasty ears? These things, along with arthritis and diabetes, can all be the result of poor nutrition. Today, I'm also going to show you one common type of cat food found in every pet store in America that is missing a critical nutrient your cat needs to support their heart health. What's sad is that it is marketed to you as a premium food. Today, you'll discover the truth. Now, if you saw me on Oprah or Martha Stewart show, you know I'm known for helping dogs considered hopeless by other veterinarians make complete turnarounds. This is actually how I met Oprah and Martha. Oprah brought me on her show after I helped her dog Sophie recover from a terrible illness. And when Martha's cat Mozart had kidney problems, my nutritional therapy helped him have a full recovery. Though while I was able to help Mozart live to the age of 19, I never like to hear about a cat getting sick, and lately I've been hearing about it more and more. This is why I spent a considerable amount of time and money to create this video that many in the pet food industry would prefer you not see. With the largest premium pet food company recently paying a $32 million settlement when it was discovered that their labels were misleading unsuspecting consumers, there has never been a more important time to educate yourself. Today, I'm going to share 4 discoveries I made to promote maximum cat longevity that can help your cat live a full, healthy life. These 4 things are just as important whether you have a kitten, a middle-aged cat, or a senior cat. And they're just as important for adventurous cats who can roam the neighborhood all night, and for cuddly cats who keep the couch warm all day. And best of all, these are 4 things you could do at home. What you're about to discover helps your cat become sleeker and stronger, maintain a shiny, healthy coat, have more regular poops, and less tartar. And don't be surprised if you notice your cat has a less smelly litter box, dramatically improved health markers, and a calmer but happier personality. A simple change you can make at home will show a big difference in your cat in just a few days. Now, I'm not sure how you arrived here today. Maybe you were sent here by your veterinarian or a friend or family member who's a fellow cat lover. Either way, I want to welcome you. Grab a pen or something to take notes, and let's begin. To start, we need to ask the tough question. Why are more cats getting sick than ever before? The truth is that almost no regulation of pet food quality exists in America. Neither the USDA nor the FDA takes the time to monitor or inspect all pet foods. And while AAFCO has set nutritional standards for cats, they do not monitor and enforce the quality of ingredients put into pet food formulas. And there is certainly nothing in place to stop companies from putting in dangerous additives, as I'm about to show you. The way I explain this to those I see in my practice is we humans could probably eat McDonald's burgers and fries every day and we would survive. But if we want to thrive, we need to learn about what's really healthy and what isn't and eat accordingly. The same is true with our cats. There is just one big difference. If your cat isn't getting proper nutrition, he or she can't ask for a different meal. They depend on us to make the best choice. I learned this the hard way with my cat Zots. I was fresh out of vet school and I knew very little about pet nutrition. At Cornell, we had learned about the percentages of food ingredients cats should have in their diets, but never about what was a quality protein source. We learned how to diagnose and treat a cat's problems. We learned how to operate on cats and medicate cats. But we weren't really taught how we could help cat lovers prevent their cats from having health problems in the first place. At the time, I had cats named Zots and the Geeter. One day, Zots came down with a urinary disease causing a blockage, which is very common in male cats. Before I could even attempt to treat him, his bladder exploded, and at the age of 9, he was gone. I was devastated. I had loved Zots, and I feared that I made a choice that ended his life. Now, this was the 1970s, and no one was talking about what was in pet food. So honestly, I didn't even think about the food I had been feeding Zots. But then I had an interesting experience in my own personal life. At the time, I was in my late 20s and overweight. I was losing my hair, and I was already suffering from symptoms of arthritis. One day, I stumbled across a book on natural diets. It inspired me to cut out all processed food and junk foods. Within a few weeks, I had lost 20 pounds and my joint pain had disappeared. This led me to think, if eating real natural foods is good for me, wouldn't it be good for cats and dogs too? Now, this may not sound revolutionary to you, but as I said, this was in the 70s and no one was talking about this. I even found out a few years after I graduated that the food being fed to cats and dogs in my veterinary studies, which was sponsored by the big pet food companies, was absolute garbage. I first tried a diet change with a dog. He was a Weimaraner named Kaiser, who was coming out of a coma. As soon as Kaiser woke up, I took him off kibble and put him on a real food diet that I had his caregivers buy and prepare themselves. Then 3 amazing things happened. First, for a week or 2, everyone who touched Kaiser broke out in a rash. Why? Because Kaiser was detoxing, and all of the nasty chemicals in his body were coming out through his skin. Then Kaiser lost all the rest of his hair. It just fell clean out. A new coat of fur began to grow in, but it wasn't the old mangy fur he had before. It was a new coat of fuzzy brown puppy fur, which was odd because all adult Weimaraners are gray. Eventually, that puppy fur turned into a brilliant shade of gray, and Kaiser looked and acted like a new dog. He made a remarkable transformation, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I was right. Animals should be eating a real food diet. And then I got a sinking feeling in my stomach. I had been feeding Zots the same commercial dry food that was sponsored to us at Cornell. Thinking that I had made the choice that killed Zots broke my heart. I immediately switched my other cat, the Geeter's diet. I began preparing it myself from whole foods I bought at the market. And the Geeter lived to the ripe old age of 24. Since then, what I've discovered has helped thousands of other cats live long, healthy lives. So what is my recommended diet? Well, first, let's talk about what is not in it, because it is just as important. That brings me to the first of my cat health destroyers, fillers. Fillers can be defined as anything the food companies put in cat food that doesn't do good for your cat. These fillers are put into pet foods so the manufacturers can make more money. After all, they are much, much cheaper than meat. The problem is that these fillers just don't fill your cats up. They literally ruin their digestion. The worst fillers are corn, wheat, and soy, along with the heavy-set grains like barleys, oatmeal, and white rice. You've probably heard that gluten is bad for you. Well, one of the main fillers used by pet food companies is wheat gluten, and it's actually a leading cause of cat allergies. Listen, if there is one thing you learned from me today, make it this. A cat is an obligate carnivore. They should be eating predominantly meat. In the wild, all cats are meat eaters. The only time they ever eat veggies is when they are in the contents of the stomach and small intestines of an animal they kill. A good cat food will have a small amount of veggies in it and also fruit to mimic a natural diet, but it will always be mostly meat. I've had many pet food companies ask me to be an endorser of products that use these cheap fillers. They try to tell me things like corn is healthy. I say, have you ever seen a cat in the wild stalk an ear of corn? What's really sad is that these fillers are even in many pet foods that claim to be natural and premium. Sadly, I used to feed Zots, one of the big name cat foods whose brand name I can't mention here. Imagine my horror when I looked and saw the number one ingredient in that food was corn. I was already a veterinarian at that time, so you can see how anyone could make this mistake. The labels on the bag said it was beneficial, balanced, and nutritious, when in reality, that was lies, lies, lies. Pet food labels can be just as misleading today as they were in the 70s. So if you've had trouble finding the best food for your cat, it's not your fault. Now, I want to reveal to you my first cat longevity discovery. It's a special meat that contains more essential vitamins than any other kind of protein. Hearty doses of B vitamins, folic acid, and minerals like phosphorus, iron, copper, magnesium, and iodine. And the important fat-soluble vitamins A, E, and K. What kind of meat am I talking about? Organ meat. Compared to regular cuts of meat, organ meats are more densely packed with just about every nutrient. So if you haven't fed your cat a food blend with organ meats in it yet, he or she is in for a treat. Not only do cats love the taste, it's a nutrient burst they cannot get from any other source. While organ meat may not be the most appetizing to us, this is a nutrient-rich food source cats have been eating for thousands and thousands of years. Most modern-day cat foods deprive your cat of this premium ingredient. So when you restore organ meats to your cat's diet, it's only natural that you will have a healthier cat, which usually means many more happy years with your cat. Organ meats also have an extremely high concentration of vitamin D. So if you live in a cold area and your cat is not getting enough vitamin D from the sun, it's even more important you get organ meat into their diet. I'll share a simple way to get organ meats to your feline in a moment. And no, it's not buying expensive products at a butcher shop, and you won't have to do any prepping. Though first, it's important I share with you the second cat health destroyer you must watch out for, which is preservatives. Preservatives are put in pet foods to prevent them from going bad on a store shelf. The problem with that? Mother Nature never intended your cat's food to sit on a shelf at all. The preservatives used in most cat foods do a number on your cat's digestive system, and the reason why, it's because they are bacteria killers. When your cat eats preservatives, they kill much of the good bacteria in your cat's digestive tract. This can result in all kinds of serious problems, from skin and coat issues to weight gain, to excessive shedding, irregular pooping, even depression. And the really sad thing is, most cat parents never realize this. Because you see, when you and I are having a tummy ache, we can say something about it, but your cat cannot. And you know how sometimes you will eat a meal that tastes great going down, yet a little later you don't feel good, and you wish you hadn't eaten it? Sadly, this is the experience cats have with many of the foods you will find in stores. It pains me to think about how many cats may be suffering in silence because of preservatives making it difficult for them to digest. Here are the preservatives you need to watch out for in your cat's food. Butylated hydroxytoluene, or BHT. Its nasty cousin, BHA. And propylene glycol, which is also found in antifreeze. Now, since so many cat foods use preservatives, you may be wondering if you need to start making your cat food yourself. And I say, if you have the time and money, that's a great thing to do. But if not, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to spot foods that are made with a safe and natural preservative. First, I want to share with you the second of the 4 cat longevity discoveries I mentioned to you earlier: prebiotics. Prebiotics are superfoods for your cat's good gut bacteria. Yes, you heard me right. Prebiotics are not what your cat eats, but what your cat's good gut bacteria needs. Because when you give your cat's good gut bacteria what they need to flourish, they can help your kitty digest food smoothly. And here's what's most exciting. Scientists have now discovered that serotonin, which is the happy hormone that controls moods in humans and animals, is primarily made in the digestive tract. So when you give your cat prebiotics to help support healthy digestion, more serotonin is produced, and you will have a happier cat. Amazing, right? Proper levels of serotonin have also now been linked to less aggression and less stress in cats. So if you want to give your cat a better quality of life, this is a great way to do it. Prebiotics I recommend for cats are flaxseed, peas, carrots, and ginger. I'll show you how to get them into your cat's diet easily in just a moment. The third cat health destroyer you need to be aware of is meat byproducts. Meat byproducts, or as sometimes labeled, byproduct meal, are nothing but slaughterhouse waste. They are what's left of an animal after slaughter and after all of the cuts of meat for humans are removed. This can contain organs. However, it can also contain just about anything else. Feet, beaks, brains, underdeveloped eggs, pieces of tumors. Yes, pieces of tumors. They can also include intestines with the best effort to remove feces. Can you imagine that? These food companies actually have a guy at the meat place washing the feces out of the intestines, then putting them into cat foods. Pretty gross, right? I'm not feeding that to my cats. So if you see chicken byproduct, beef byproduct, lamb byproduct, or duck byproduct on your cat's food, unfortunately, you should probably toss it out. Our cats deserve better than these scraps. Also, be aware of generic meat products that are marked on the label as meat meal or meat and bone meal. These can contain roadkill, dead zoo animals, dead livestock, and worst of all, euthanized pets from pet shelters which can still have the poison in their bodies. Yes, it's really that bad. This leads me to my third cat longevity discovery that supports your cat in good health, omega-3s. Studies have shown that omega-3 fatty acids are very important to brain health. They are associated with an increased brain volume, and they may even help reverse signs of brain aging. This is why no surprise that cat parents who start putting more omega-3s in their cat's diet find their cats become friendlier and more active. Not to mention, many cats have problems with pain, and I've seen in my practice that omega-3s can help with that. In my experience, I've also found omegas to be great for helping ease those occasional cat allergies. Now, there are many great omega-3 supplements on the market designed for cats. However, I'm going to show you a way to get them into your cat's food so you don't need to buy an expensive supplement. First, I need to now tell you about the common food you'll find in any pet store that could lead to heart problems for your cat: cooked food. In the wild, a cat's diet has a lot of moisture. If you give your cat dry food only, he or she is getting very little moisture. This is even worse for cats than it is for dogs because cats don't drink as much water, which is why a dry food diet can cause dehydration in your cat and stress to their organs. What about gently cooked food? A very common health problem house cats now have is cardiomyopathy. This means a disease of the heart. Cardiomyopathy is caused by not getting enough of the amino acid taurine. Taurine is found in meat. However, the heating and cooking that happens in the making of a typical commercial pet food strips the meat of nearly all of the taurine. In fact, the process strips away so many of the vitamins, some companies have to use synthetic spray-on vitamins just to meet the AAFCO standards. Sadly, this even includes some foods claiming to be natural, human-grade, and raw. These synthetic vitamins are not bioavailable to your cat. What this means is they go in one end and out the other. This actually depletes energy in your cat's body because your cat does all that digesting for nothing. Not to mention the long-term health issues that can arise in your cat because he or she is not getting the needed vitamins. You'll remember that I was feeding my cat Zots a dry kibble food at the time of his death. Canned foods and the gently cooked packaged foods are not much better, and they are still not a species-appropriate meal for your cat. All cats in the wild are carnivores, and they all eat their meat raw. Which brings me to my next cat longevity discovery, which has been the key to being able to help thousands of cats live into their late teens and 20s without any food-related health troubles. Raw food. Now, the thought of eating raw meat can be a little odd to some of us, and I get that. Not to mention, over the years, rumors have been spread that raw food can give cats parasites. Well, that's not entirely true, and there is now a simple way to get raw food for your cat safely that is not expensive, which I'll share in a minute. Why is raw food so powerful for cats? It's because your cat's digestive system is almost identical to their wild relatives. In fact, recent studies prove that house cats share 95.6% of their DNA with their ancient ancestor, the tiger. So raw food is the most natural meal you could feed your cat. In my professional opinion, as a veterinarian who has helped thousands of cats overcome nutrition-related illnesses, you should try to avoid giving cooked food meals to your cat. A snack is okay from time to time, but too much cooked food will leave your cat's heart with very little of the nutritional support that he or she needs. Now, this doesn't mean you should give your cat a bunch of raw steaks or fish. It's still important that their diet be balanced. What this means is to include a small portion of veggies and fruits, just like a cat in the wild would get when it eats the stomach of its prey. You can definitely prepare a food like this for your cat at home, and 25 years ago, I even wrote a book on how to do this. Though while I'm happy that thousands of people began home preparing cat food after reading my book, I've received many letters over the years from people telling me that it just wasn't possible to prepare every meal. And hey, I get it. I know in a perfect world, we would all try to make home prep meals for our pets every single day. But the ingredients can be expensive, and sometimes life gets in the way. So what's a cat lover to do? Well, as a veterinarian who's appeared on a lot of talk shows, I get asked to endorse a lot of pet foods. I've never been able to say yes because I've always known prepping meals at home was so much better. However, in the last few years, there have been some new developments in the pet food world that are very exciting. Scientists have now figured out how to put high-quality raw food in a freeze-dried form that you can serve to your cat at home and add just a little bit of water and it's ready to go. One of the best parts of the freeze-drying process is that it makes the food completely safe for your cat to consume. In fact, I have never once heard of a cat or dog getting any sort of bug from a food made this way. When I heard about this breakthrough, a light bulb went off in my head. This new process could make a wholesome, raw diet affordable and convenient for cat lovers everywhere. But could it be done to my strict standards of quality? I decided to find out for myself. I decided to see if I could get a raw, freeze-dried cat food made to my standards. If it could be done, great. If not, I'd keep telling people to prepare meals at home like I've always done. I begin with a recipe. You see, if I were to create a food to give a cat heart health support, kidney health support, a nice sleek body with good muscle tone, good energy, easy digestion, immune support, joint and coat support, strong brain health, and of course, a delicious taste, it would look like this. High-quality raw meat proteins made from the same cuts of meat we humans enjoy, not the leftover pieces or parts. Healthy fats from premium proteins and superfood seeds. A high amount of nutrient-rich organ meats that cats love, and high levels of EPA-DHA, those powerful omega-3s I mentioned to you earlier, to support your cat's brain health and body health. Typically, a caring cat lover will have to get omega-3s in supplement form. But I know the right organ meats that contain high amounts of the essential fatty acids such as arachidonic acid and omega-3 fats, which are the ultimate nutrients for supporting your cat's brain health, immune system, and naturally fighting inflammation. So I would put those special organ meats like turkey liver and turkey heart in the food too. The food would also contain veggies and fruits that are prebiotics, like carrots and apples, giving your cat's good bacteria what it needs to thrive. And I wouldn't stop there. I'd also add in polyphenols. These are powerful nutrients found in dark berries that I've had many pet lovers tell me have led to an increase in your cat's energy. Makes sense, as polyphenols have now been shown in scientific studies to increase athletic performance for us humans. Not to mention, polyphenols are powerful antioxidants which aid in protecting cells from damage. And as you can guess, the food would contain no grains, no fillers, and no nasty preservatives. Instead, I would use mixed tocopherols, a natural preservative derived from vitamin E that won't hurt your cat's tummy. Was it even possible to create a food like this? I had no idea, but I was going to find out. My team and I began visiting food manufacturers. I finally tracked down an independent pet food manufacturing company run by a brilliant veterinarian turned holistic pet food specialist. And I finally got a yes on creating a cat food to my exact specifications. There was only one catch. The food couldn't be made in large quantity like the big store brands. Fine by me, I said. After all, I knew that this food would not be for everybody. You see, while I know most people who have cats love their cats, sadly, I know very few actually do the research on how to give their cats an optimal diet. So even though the food cannot be made in large quantities, I decided to move forward anyways. This way, I would at least have something to recommend at my practice. Plus, there was also a big upside. This manufacturer is a pioneer on the premium freeze-dried raw process. The way they do it allows the quality ingredients to retain their nutrient content, and it wouldn't need to be refrigerated. Cat lovers would be able to just add water and it would be ready to go. Freeze drying also creates an incredible texture cats love, especially when you add warm water. However, I knew cats can be notoriously picky. So ultimately, the challenge to create the perfect cat food would be all about the flavor. The only thing big cat food gets right is the idea that cat food needs to be tasty. The problem is, many brands do it in the cheapest and arguably worst way possible by using artificial flavors and additives. This essentially tricks your cat into eating. And since many cat food brands are packed with corn and then covered in artificial flavors and additives, it makes many cat food brands closer to a bag of corn chips than healthy food you'd feed your family every day. Now, junk food for us humans every once in a while is fine, but for your cat, eating those kinds of ingredients in every single meal can be horrible for their health. So I refuse to add artificial flavors and additives and take any kind of shortcut, especially because certain flavoring agents can actually cause devastating kidney damage. These days, the number one issue cats have is kidney problems. And with so few cats getting proper nutrition, I feel like that could be why. We detect renal or kidney problems by presence of elevated blood kidney values, and I have seen so many cats have these values improved just by switching their diets to one of predominantly raw meat. After all, as my friend and colleague Dr. Karen Becker says, a diet high in excellent quality protein and lower than normal amounts of sodium and phosphorus is recommended. So to create a delicious, healthy cat food, I selected premium meats cats naturally find delicious. After many months of tweaking the formulas to get them just right, the first sample showed up at my clinic. I had them tested to make sure the nutrient content had held up. And I was pleased to discover they contained an even richer vitamin and mineral profile than I had hoped for. But would finicky cats eat them? After all, what good is a healthy food if your cat doesn't like the taste? I gave it the real test. I shared the formulas with 30 cats in an early user group, and 29 out of 30 cats immediately started eating the food, with no coaxing or pleading required. They just dove right in and eagerly enjoyed every bite. This was one of the happiest moments in my life. This is when I knew this food would allow me to make a change globally, not just in my practice. After all, I don't want to see what happened to Zots happen to any other cats. When I got those first bags of my cat food and it passed the nutrition test, then the taste test, I knew my vision was about to come true. I'm proud to now present to you Dr. Marty Nature's Feast, a premium freeze-dried raw cat food. This food is based on over 50 years of experience working with animals and healing cats other doctors said could not be helped. I carefully selected premium organ meats for maximum nutrient and omega-3 fat content. And every bag contains 87% of excellent quality meat protein, which is my recommended amount for optimal cat health. The other 13% is made up of the veggies and fruits I personally found to be the most effective for cat longevity and because they are prebiotics. Sweet potato, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, peas, carrots, apples, blueberries, cranberries, ginger, kelp, spinach, broccoli, mixed tocopherols. Let me stress again that while I put a lot of good veggies and fruits in the food, it is 87% raw meat and raw organ meat. There are no nasty preservatives, just a natural mixed tocopherol blend to keep it fresh on your shelf for as long as you need. While there are other freeze-dried cat foods on the market, this is the only food to meet my strict nutrition standards for felines. Freeze-dried raw, organ meats, and high fat. And if you've never fed your cat freeze-dried food before, you and your cat are in for a treat. It's simple to prepare. Pull out the number of nuggets that are recommended for your cat's age and weight, then just add water. 3 minutes later, it's ready to eat. But be warned, your cat will start to smell it when it's out of the bag, and those 3 minutes while they are waiting for the water to do its thing will have your cat salivating for that delicious flavor to come. Shake that bag of food, and they will come running. I formulated Dr. Marty Nature's Feast to be the most nutritious choice for your cat, whether it's a he or she, a kitten, young, middle-aged, or senior, and it's especially a favorite of my patients who are rescues or have had health problems in the past. The formula is designed to mimic what your cat would eat in the wild, but with a special twist. It ensures your cat gets the maximum nutrient content in every meal. This is why my fellow veterinarians are now recommending this formula. So if you were sent here today by your veterinarian, please pass on my gratitude, and your cat will be thankful as well. I'll share with you a few more of the amazing benefits your cat will likely feel from this food at the end of this video. For now, I know that since you're watching this, you care deeply about your cat, so I want to share that you could get it for your best friend right away. You see, because this food is made from premium, naturally nutritious ingredients, it was quite expensive to produce. If you were to try to make it for your cat yourself, in your kitchen, depending on the size of your cat, you could spend several $100s a month on the ingredients, which would put it out of reach for many people, and that's the last thing I want to happen. If you love cats as much as I do, and I'm guessing you do, then I'm sure you can understand how important it was for me to make this food affordable for any cat lover. So I decided to offer Dr. Marty Nature's Feast directly to you. This way, I could do 3 things. Number 1, I could assure it ships to you quickly. Number 2, my team can provide you with great customer service. And number 3, I can make sure you get it at the lowest price possible. So when you order my freeze-dried raw cat food, Nature's Feast, you are not going to pay $100 a bag. You're not even going to pay $70. When you order it now directly from this website, you'll get a 12-ounce bag for just $29.95. Update. Since I first announced the release of my cat food, the outpouring of joy from cat lovers has been amazing. People all over the world are ordering my freeze-dried raw cat food. We are finally back in stock now, and the good news is we've been able to place a much larger order. And get this, the cost per bag will drop even lower if you opt for a 3-pack. And even lower still if you go with a 6-pack. I call these my Healthy Habit discounts, and I'm proud to offer them as an added reward for committing to your cat's long-term health and wellness. So please don't hesitate to stock up while these ultra-low rates are still available, because as we all know, your cat's incredible food is most effective when it's served daily. It's that simple. Because of the special sealing and freeze-drying process, the food won't go bad in your cupboard. Every bag will be as fresh as the day you order, the moment you open it up. Now, this current batch is not a big one, and it will likely sell out soon. Though, when you click on the order button below, if you see the order options, that means it's still available. Oh, and here's something else I'm really excited about. You see, because I'm so confident that Dr. Marty Nature's Feast will make a huge improvement in your cat's health and happiness, I've decided to do something no cat food producer is doing. I decided to back it up with the first ever Your Cat is Healthier or It's Free guarantee. Here's how it works. When you click on the order button below, you'll be taken to our secure order page. Then select your cat's flavor and fill out your shipping and billing information. Everything is protected with the same web security used by Apple and Amazon.com. Your food will arrive on your doorstep in just a few short days. Then give it to your cat. Watch how much they love the taste. They'll be giving you affectionate little headbutts and purring with every bite. Then pay attention to your cat's health. And if you like, take them to your local veterinarian. And if you and your veterinarian don't see noticeable improvements in your cat's health and happiness, simply let us know. You can send back the unused portion anytime within 90 days, and I'll refund every cent of your purchase price. That's how confident I am in what this food will do for your cat's health. Whether it's a shinier, fuller coat, more energy, more regular poops, a calmer mood, feeling more attentive to you and better behaved, or even just having the healthier teeth and gums that come from eating wholesome ingredients your cat was meant to eat, I'm confident you're going to notice big positive changes. If not, because we want you to really try this food, you can even send us back the empty bag, and we will still process your refund, no questions asked. That's how strongly I stand behind this cat food. And by popular demand, Nature's Feast now comes with a subscribe and save option. This special plan makes it easy to help keep your cat's health at its peak condition 365 days a year, even if you're on a budget, by automatically sending you your cat's food each month for as long as you like
at an even lower price than I'm offering you today.
In other words, it's like securing a lifetime discount. And the best part is your cat will never have to miss a daily meal because your monthly refill will always arrive as scheduled, even when Nature's Feast is sold out on my website. And believe me, we do sell out often. So as a veterinarian, I can't recommend the subscription feature more highly. You can easily adjust or cancel your subscription online at any time. And it's truly the most convenient, most affordable, and most effective way to help your cat enjoy easy digestion, a healthy weight, limber joints, a healthy coat, and playful, affectionate moods well into their senior years. Just click the button below your screen, and we'll start preparing your order for delivery right away. The formula comes from my 50 years experience helping animals live the longest, healthiest lives possible, much longer lives than their human friends ever expected even. Because if you think the changes you see in the first few weeks are amazing, think about what's going to happen to your cat's health after eating this high-quality, delicious food for a few months. Many cat parents report that teeth look healthier and cleaner, coats get shinier and feel thicker and fuller. Your cat's body looks healthier and cats get a glow about them. They just seem happier and more loving all of the time. You may also notice their water consumption goes down because your cat isn't getting as dehydrated. You'll also see poops become more manageable and less bulky. The litter box will likely not smell as bad. And obese cats will lose weight and become more muscular. You'll also notice a cat wants to interact more with you and they can bond better with you because when your cat is getting better nutrients in their food, they're getting more power to their brain. And don't forget how much happier your cat can be when serotonin production is working better. If this sounds like a lot to expect from just a simple change of food, well then, you are correct. The way I explain it to cat lovers in my clinic is this. Imagine if someone was feeding you crappy food, then they switched over to feeding you delicious, healthier foods every single day. Not only would you be appreciative, you would have big changes in your health. A healthier body is a happier body. And when your cat is healthier, that means less money spent on fixes for a sick cat. It's truly revolutionary how big of a difference great nutrition can make. The reason I created this food is because I'm tired of hearing about so many cats getting sick. I put everything I've discovered in the last 5 decades of healing animals into these recipes, and I know it's going to make an amazing difference in your cat's health and happiness. So click on the link below and give it a try for your cat today. Dr. Marty Nature's Feast is only available through this website, and the new customer-only offer is only available through this special video while supplies last. So grab yours now and please accept my sincere thank you. As a lover of cats myself, it means a lot to me that you care for yours enough to spend your time with me today, learning about cat health and making this investment in your cat's happiness. This is Dr. Marty Goldstein, and I'll talk to you again soon. Still here? Great. That's probably because you have some questions. Ever since my food has hit the market, I've been receiving dozens of emails thanking me for making it and with pictures of happy cats enjoying it. I love getting these emails, so please keep them coming. And I wanted to answer a few of the most popular questions I've been getting as well. So here we go. Does each breed of cat need different food? They do not. This formula is great for cats of any breed. Is this good for cats of any age? The answer is yes. I designed the formula to be the best overall diet for kittens, middle-aged, and senior cats. The nutrient profile contains everything your cat's body needs to not only survive, but thrive. Does this food contain added vitamins and minerals? The answer to this is a big fat no. You see, most companies cook the crap out of their food, which strips it of all the nutrient value. So then what they do is add minerals and vitamins in synthetic form so they can make label claims. The issue with this is that the synthetic minerals and vitamins are not bioavailable to your cat. In other words, they go in one end and out the other. This actually depletes energy in your cat's body as it's a wasted process, not to mention the long-term health issues missing these vitamins and minerals can cause. Which is why in my food, your cat will get all of its needed vitamins and minerals naturally from the premium ingredients. We never add in anything else to make label claims. It contains only the best. Why does this food contain blueberries and cranberries? Are those natural? Great question. Recent studies have found pets get great benefits from small amounts of blueberries and cranberries, and my own observations show the same. In 2006, the University of Alaska in Fairbanks conducted a study where sled dogs were given blueberries as a supplement to their diet. The results showed that there was a spike in antioxidants in the sled dog's blood, which is amazing because antioxidants play a huge role in preventing free radical damage, which, if left unchecked, could lead to cancer. Older dogs that received a diet rich in antioxidants have shown improvement in learning and attention within 2 weeks of starting the diet, which tells me they will do wonders with cats also. Cranberries are well documented for their ability to improve urinary health in both humans and animals. They contain a natural compound that prevents bacteria from clinging to the walls of organs, which means a healthier environment and better detoxing for your kitty. These reasons are why I've included my recommended amount of blueberries and cranberries in every serving of my freeze-dried raw food. Your cat is going to love it. Why is ginger in the food? And why flaxseed? Ginger is great for bloat and naturally helps with joint stiffness. Flaxseed is my favorite prebiotic for cats. Do you recall earlier when I mentioned my favorite way to get prebiotics into your cat's diet? Flaxseed is it. It contains lignin, a form of dietary fiber which contains substances called oligosaccharides that are food for your cat's good gut bacteria. Strengthening these good bacteria not only improves digestion, it can strengthen the immune system and support healthy serotonin production for a happier cat. Going to work in the large intestine, they also prevent and relieve constipation while reducing inflammation and discouraging harmful bacteria and parasites. What is the complete ingredient list? I'm glad you asked. The chicken formula contains chicken, chicken heart, chicken liver, chicken gizzard, turkey liver, turkey heart, egg, sweet potato, sunflower seed, spinach, pumpkin seed, cranberry, blueberry, apple, carrots, ginger, dried kelp, broccoli, kale, salt, and mixed tocopherols. As you can see, these are simple premium ingredients. These are the very same formulas my wife and I feed our cats at home, and I couldn't be prouder of it. How does it make a difference so quickly? In addition to not living as long as us humans, cats have much faster metabolism than humans. In fact, an animal's metabolism runs so much faster than ours that everything is accelerated. A few years of bad diet for them is like a lifetime for us. However, the opposite is true. When it comes to a good diet, just a couple of weeks of a good diet can show dramatic improvements in the way your cat looks and feels. Why did you recommend cooked food in your first book? Now, if you read this book, you know that it'll go into detail about how to prepare food for your pet and share my favorite recipes. I mentioned some cooked meat recipes as well as raw. However, I wrote that book 25 years ago. While I still stand by the book, in the past 25 years, what I've seen in my practice has shown me even more the power of raw food. I've just seen too many cats have success on an all-raw diet, and too many examples of heart problems arising from cooked foods. So while I still stand by the book, whenever it says cooked meat, I now suggest you replace it with raw. Why did you finally decide to make your own food? My answer to this is simple. The reason I'm doing this is because I love animals, and in my clinic, we can only do so much. Instead of helping 3,000 animals a year, I want to help millions around the globe. I deeply appreciate those who trust me with their pet's care, and I want to thank you for trusting me with your cat's nutrition. Please know I take it very seriously, which is why it took me over 40 years to decide to create a cat food. I wasn't going to put something out there unless I could make something ideal for a cat's diet, and it's finally here. Click on the link below to try Dr. Marty Nature's Feast, a premium freeze-dried raw cat food today. And I'll be honored to send you and your cat some. It's fully guaranteed that your cat will love it, and if for any reason you decide it's not for you, simply send back what you don't use and I'll refund every cent of your purchase price. That's how confident I am that you and your cat will love this formula, and I can't wait for you to try it.
Scan now to get this exclusive offer.